Hey guys, so we're here today at Champion Motor Speedway at M1 Concourse with Aaron Bambach at the wheel. And he's just going to kind of give us a tour of the Champion Motor Speedway in this Viper ACR.
At speed around the track through turn 2 here. A nice climb out of turn 2 up into 3. Track levels out coming into 3. Traditional 90-degree turn in down to your apex. Let the car run wide out of the corner. A little breathe on the throttle, turning back in for 4. Down to the apex, squeezing hard on the gas. Track out, short shoot down to turn 5. Some braking markers there to let everybody know they need to slow it down for the tightest turn on the track. Initial turn in for turn 6, aiming for our cones about center, adding a lot of steering, getting across the apex right to the track out. Somewhat diamonding off that corner. Down the straightaway. We've seen about 130 miles an hour right now at the end of the straightaway in some of the supercars. Turn 7, decreasing the radius from our turn in to our apex, not changing the steering angle at all, letting the car run right out to the track out. No brake for turn 8. Just turn the car in right up over the crest of the hill, then braking hard for turn 9. 90-degree corner, eyes up right down to that apex, tracking out. Middle of the road entry for 10A, apexing slightly off the edge of the road, tracking out, setting up for 10B. Long radius, staying to the right of the yellow hash marks for pit exit, and back down into turn 1. Champion Motor Speedway here at M1 Concourse is 1.5 miles long, 30 feet wide, brand new 6 weeks ago. It's an 11 turn track, although we refer to turn 11 as 10B, 10A and 10B because they are tied together pretty closely. People are really surprised at the elevation change that we have here at the track. It can be, I think, upwards of 65 feet of elevation, and all from the natural terrain that we have here on the property. We were able to put a nice 1.5 mile track on this property that actually has the feel of driving a little bit larger than it is due to a 1/3 mile straightaway into a big sweeping corner through turn 7 that everyone will see, and an awesome climbing turn up and through 8 and into 9. Track surrounded by car condos, so we've really integrated this car condo community into the track very well. It's almost like stadium seating from the mezzanines looking out of these car condos. It's a really neat deal. Coming down into turn 6 here, probably the tightest turn on the track. Really tight hairpin onto our 1/3 mile straightaway. Really nice climbing straightaway, and then downhill into turn 7. At the 400, 300, 200, and 100 foot board from our turn in. Turn 7 is a decreasing radius corner. As we come in, we start to decrease that radius down to an apex, about 2/3 of the way around the corner and out to our track out. We do a lot of instructional programs around here, so we've got the orange cones for turn in, green for apex, and yellow for track out. Here into turn 9, another one of the tight corners on the track, but a pretty traditional 90-degree 10A and 10B. A little bit tricky. There's a couple of lines through here, a little bit of elevation through the first half, and a nice big sweeping corner out of 10B. Track's been met with a lot of business as soon as we opened, so hopefully we'll have a chance to get these curbs put in the next 60 to 90 days.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Got a good plan for curbing coming up.
What do you think of this ACR?
I think this ACR is probably one of the most capable track cars in the world.
I drove one briefly around MIS, just like doing some shooting for it, for another magazine, and they had an autocross and a slalom setup, and I was blown away. The capabilities are.
It's a little, just such a menacing looking car. It's a little bit rough on the road, but I've been daily driving one now for a little while, and I have no complaints. I think if you set the shocks to the softest setting, it actually drives on the road pretty well for the capabilities of the car and how stiffly sprung it is. But when you crank the compression and rebound up to what would be a good setting for any track in the country, you suffer a little bit on the road.
Sure.
So I've got this set to full track.
Okay. Yeah, it's always a compromise. I mean, it's tough to get it perfect everywhere, unless if maybe you have, magnetic shocks and you can just adjust to the push of the button.
Yeah, exactly.
This thing's pretty awesome though. Great, well thanks Aaron, that was great. Appreciate the tour. Now let's see if I can get some
Yeah, hopefully you can edit that in real good.
Yeah. What's that?
No, it's crazy looking little car though, that's for sure.